not be televised.
Fucking thing sucks.
Oh, he's stupid.
Oh shit! Let me mute my damn computer.
Speaking of which, what happened to where is Bill O'Reilly? He's in a fucking crater, living somewhere in a
You
crater.
said in a crater.
Probably.
Terrible.
Where he
Why would he
belongs.
live in a crater? He made money. He's probably somewhere. By crater, you mean man cave at the bottom of his mansion. Like
Yeah,
he made money.
basically.
It
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
like it wasn't like they took his
Podcast.
money from him.
He chilling.
You think Bezos has a really cool setup at home? Like, do you think he's a
No,
piece
I
of
think
cat?
it's boring. I think his
I
is
think he's
boring.
I was about to say I think it's rich but like boring rich.
Like boring rich, yeah.
Like boring rich.
Yeah. Not Elon Musk rich, but like because he's richer than Elon Musk. He could literally have a bat cave. Like he could literally have like
Do you think he has a bad cave?
I know he doesn't have a
No.
bat cave. He's not smooth enough for a bat cave. Look at him. Look at him. He just
Yeah,
got
he's still a
he just
nerd.
got some kind of swagger like 5 years ago. when he
Yeah, no
started dating
bull.
his wife. Like once he started like working out and like getting in shape.
He got swole.
Yeah, he looks like Lex Luthor. He does. Oh
I'm positive this man has his
Said
bat
the
cave now.
streaming bit
no,
rate
he
is
doesn't.
It's unstable.
He's Lex Luthor
How
and
stupid
Elon
is
Musk
him?
is a Bond villain. Like that's
He's like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that's what he looks like Lex Luthor. Because Lex Luthor, Lex Luthor got jacked in the comics.
He did.
Oh my god,
It's
Yeah,
like
he
Vince
is
Lex
McMahon.
Luthor.
That's like a Vince McMahon move too.
He is
Yeah.
Lex Luthor. Oh my
And then Elon Musk is a Bond villain. That's what he looks like. Because they
Hey,
always
yeah.
have incomplete mustaches that kind of like really only exist on the outside of their face.
Yeah. So who's bats? Like who's
We don't live in a
Super?
world fortunate enough to have superheroes. We just have villains. I don't know why. This is one of those. What is it? What are those? When they do the
Universes.
Outer World. What is it? What's the one where
Yep.
they mix Mortal Kombat and the Outer World comics? We don't get the luxury of a hero coming through and doing stuff magnanimously.
Or Elseworlds.
Nope.
The Elseworld,
Elseworlds,
that's
yeah.
it. Elseworld is it.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's where the Injustice stuff actually came from. Is the Elseworld stuff.
We live in the injustice world.
Joker, they still have.
There's still heroes in the Injustice world. They're just a little more gritty. We live in Watchmen.
No, we
Oh,
live
God.
in The Boys.
Love.
hero.
No, thank God we
Yeah,
don't live in
all
the Boys.
right. Got a little haircut.
Thank God we don't live in the boys.
I know
Alright, y'all
everybody
ready to get started?
everybody getting a little fresh.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh yeah, no, my wife told me I look like a werewolf. I need to get a haircut, so I went to the barber shop.
It was time. I feel you. It's time for. If I ever find my clippers and all them boxes that the insurance brought back, I'll cut my hair as well.
Well, so on the stream.
Has anybody did Bevel?
Not,
What
man,
is
and my
Bevel?
brother tried some of their stuff, and he's still using it. He's not crazy about it, but he's
Yeah.
still using. So I'm not really sure what the.
What is that?
It's
Bevel
the
is- yeah, go ahead.
It's the black shit. It's the black
The black.
like
Made by
razor
black
kit.
people for black people. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
good for black skin and all that good stuff. And then he came out I think late last year with like a whole like facial line and stuff now too, where you can exfoliate and moisturize and all that stuff.
as well.
Yeah, and that's some I want to get the clippers.
I was looking at them shits. I ain't gonna
Them
lie.
just like $200 though, man. $200.
Yeah.
I don't know how
The
good them
ostrich
clippers.
was only 56. I can't.
Yeah,
Clippers
I'm
are
gonna have to hit up that.
expensive.
Quick question.
Boy.
Question.
Use words. Use
Tongue
your
ties.
words.
Question. If the bit rate says it's on red, I mean it's streamless good, so I'm not.
All right, sweet.
But
We need an overlay, guys.
I mean,
The real
we'll get
question
there.
is,
Yeah,
Carl,
we'll get
are
there.
you pre-gaming right now? Because you've been real quiet.
Yeah, no
Oh,
bull.
real free gaming.
I don't hit no clicks.
Cause he's on mute.
I was not on mute. Pay attention. Thank you. I played earlier today. I'm not playing currently.
Okay, well that's impressive because like he was too quiet. You know, like when little kids get real quiet, that's when you gotta look
Yeah,
for
they
him.
up to something.
He's over there pre-gaming.
Hey, what this boy up to?
That's the case for my children. If
That's
they're
the
ever
case of
too
all
quiet,
children.
they are summoning a demon or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They
Okay.
got a
Yeah,
transmutation
sure they're
circle
not.
downstairs somewhere.
Yep.
That's a little too dark right there. But anyway, go
That's
ahead.
how it works.
Y'all ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Yep.
go.
Let's
All
do it.
right, bet. So thanks for joining us. Welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blerdimension everywhere if you haven't already. Make sure you turn on notifications so you can be the first to know we got new content for you. I'm Kavan, also in the Grito Suave. We got JK, Beast Eternal. We
You.
got Creston, Not Cert.
What up?
We got AJ, Noslinja.
What's going on?
We got JD, Create Activity.
Hey.
Last but not least, we got Carl, also known as KBH.
What's
The
going
only
on?
one
Cheating
here with
ass
no
on a
video.
Halo.
I
How you want to
mean,
call somebody else? I ain't even gonna get into it
Man,
with
I
you,
hear
young
that
man.
elite control in the background. I hear
You
that.
can't hear the
He
elite
said I
controller. That thing's silent, baby.
You stupid as
I hear
hell.
them
You can
pads.
only
later,
you can only hear the
later.
elite controller if I want you to hear it.
Jesus. Alright, all our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments on the podcast for y'all. First, we're gonna talk about what we've been consuming this week, what we've been watching, playing, reading, whatever. Then we're gonna talk about some nerdy news. After news, we got a topic of the week to discuss. This week is DC fandom. But we also got other big news since Gamescom started today, like at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then
Yeah.
after the podcast, we got a quick intermission, and then we're gonna get into some Halo. Tonight, we also want to acknowledge the mass tragedy and loss Black folks are experiencing right now. We want to acknowledge the pro athletes standing their ground on these important issues, and we want to let everybody know, like we know what's going on. We with y'all, we feel y'all. And if you are looking to help, the Milwaukee Freedom Fund has a link that I'm gonna put in chat. You can donate, and if you or anybody you know is protesting out there, they also have a like an arrest help link, and I'll put that in the chat as well. And if you want to escape some of that terrible shit, just stay tuned because we got mad nerd shit to talk about tonight. So,
Do it.
what y'all been consuming this week? Who we gonna start with?
I can go real quick.
I'll go ahead.
'Cause I've been looking at a lot of cool stuff. So one, I've been watching. Well, I got to finish. But I've been watching Peninsula, which is the South Korean sequel to Train to Busan.
Oh yeah, you was talking about that. How was it? The trailer looked intense, bro.
I stopped halfway through because I was also reading this book too. So I stopped halfway through. But it's actually pretty interesting how far people. It's interesting how if a zombie outbreak happened, like how far would people go to do stuff, and how other people in other governments would not help. so, but I've been
That makes
watching that.
sense.
I've been watching Lovecraft Country. That's been really interesting story. AJ's like, nope.
You not doing it.
um, I've been watching
Devil magic.
of course I've been watching like sci-fi shows like Winona Earp and I did watch a show called Vagrant Queen on Sci-Fi. It's actually pretty good. Um,
Really? It looks. I seen it and I was like half interested and half like
You don't
if you
know.
like the whole Star Wars,
it was like double dutch. I'm like,
Star Wars type trope, but
Going back
it's
and forth.
less serious. It's less serious in a sense. Then
Mm.
yeah, um, I like the story. I know how AJ feels.
they were pushing it heavy when I was watching Magicians, so they were
Oh
pushing it
yeah,
real heavy.
yeah.
Like that was
Oh
the
yeah. I think they're coming out with
trailer.
Magicians another season for that.
I don't think so. I think they canceled
Yeah,
it.
Magicians is done.
Oh, is it done? They
Yeah, they
said they.
canceled it.
Yeah, after this past season, they canceled. They killed off the main guy, and then viewership was at its lowest that it's been.
That's
Um,
crazy because he was the least cool of all the
Least
people.
cool, yeah. But his
but Quentin has been like he's the foundation in the books. I've read the
yeah,
books like 3 times now.
Oh, okay.
Actually absolutely love the Magician's book, and like Quentin not being in it, which makes sense in the books. He does die, but still, even after that, I got bored in the books too.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Um,
But it's all right.
without him, you kind of lose that like nerdy guy connection because
Right. Right.
like without him, you have all these freaking like Greek goddesses and gods right now in the show, so it's not as appealing to the average guy.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But
Nice,
but
relatable.
yes, I've been watching that. Of course, Fire Force, Demon, Misfit Demon Academy, those different animes. I also been watching. There was another movie I watched. I actually went back to Disney Plus and watched The Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
Mm.
that's a good time. That's a good time.
I've been going back to the classics this week too, actually.
Yeah, I've been watching that, and then I was like, damn. I was like, I want to watch the rest of them. I was like, damn, I
No,
didn't
man,
get to that.
those are good movies, man. Just because
Oh
they're,
yeah.
those are good
Um,
movies.
also been watching Lucifer. Finished that season 5.
Yeah, that's what
Got
Nicole's
interesting
watching
at
right
the
now
end.
as we speak.
I gotta watch Superman Man of Tomorrow.
That's out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out. I watched. So CBS has a show called Star Trek Lower Decks, which is actually pretty funny.
Yes, that's what I was gonna talk about. Like during this, I was like,
So
I'm watching. I've
I'll
been
leave that.
watching this. Yes.
I'll
All
leave that.
right.
I'll leave that for you. And then there's another show I was watching. Oh, Nas 482, 4A2.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
supposed to be like a vampire thing? Because
it is.
Nosferatu.
Yep.
Sort of,
Uh,
yeah.
It's weird. It's
It's weird, but it's interesting.
it's super interesting.
It's so interesting. It's like vampire with imagination and abduction and
It what?
like it's a lot of
You
shit.
Devon's
threw
like,
abduction
wait a
right up
minute.
there with
I
imagination.
know,
I don't
right?
know.
No,
Imagination
like
is
if see,
yeah,
I
they're
threw all that together to throw you off because y'all have to watch it to see what the fuck I'm talking about. So
I
that's
seen
why
it.
so it
threw
gets that mission like
everybody off.
abduction. How the hell? Okay, well,
Yeah.
but no, it's actually really good. The one thing I really like about it is that one of the main characters is a is a nerdy black dude, and he's like in the show he's like not a foster father, but like he's like a stepfather to one of the kids or whatever, and he's just like rolling with the punches. He's a mechanic. He's just like rolling with the punches and shit. He's like, man, this shit is so freaky, but I'm here to help. I'm like, that's a down dude. That's what we all are. Like well, to a certain extent, I guess, uh, but no, that's what I've been watching this week, and definitely. Oh, one thing I'm definitely excited for. I actually pre-ordered was the last Ronin. Um, Comic book for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just watched. I don't know if anybody follows Comic Historian. He did a video on Batman: The Three Jokers.
No, I
Uh,
haven't seen that one yet.
it's dog. It's
Yeah, I
so
followed his stuff for a while.
it's so good. Like I want to read the comic now. Like I was like, damn, this is pretty good. So he does. So if anybody know about Comic Historian, basically he does like his own playback reading of comics by doing voices and stuff like that. So
Mm.
Hmm.
a lot of information I get from comics and are either from him or for Valiant Comics and a lot of stuff that I don't know. That's how I learn different stuff. So y'all can go
Yep.
check it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. You want to go next, JD, since you had a like an overlapping joint with JK?
Yeah. So if you guys haven't yet, and I know a lot of people are kind of like F on the whole CBS streaming service because it is shit. Like this is the only show that's useful, and only reason why I signed up for it was because like I do Apple TV, um, and I get it like I got it for free for a week, so I was trying it out. But yeah, CBS Star Trek Lower Decks. Like first, I've watched Star Trek since I was like shitting on myself and whatnot as a child. Um, and so like I've always loved Star Trek. It's a very serious show, yada yada, has some laughs and whatnot. But I always kind of wondered what like the people like around the ship outside of like the main deck did, because like a ship takes a lot of damn people to run it, right? And so this show kind of attacks that kind of like that wonder of what they're doing, and it literally is just this like Family Guy meets Star Trek meets
Like that whole
like a
Seth
little bit
Green
of
of
say
show,
again.
that whole like Seth Green trope of shows, like that comedy aspect,
Yeah,
but it has the
Is it like the
serious
exactly.
Orville kind of thing,
with
like
it.
Seth MacFarlane was
Y-
doing?
I mean,
Yes,
not
think
Seth
Orville.
MacFarlane. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, think Orville for the most part. It's
Yes.
kind of how you want to do that, but animate it, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious. And one of the MCs is this black chick, and she is freaking hysterical. I mean, she is the funniest part of the whole show. She's basically like this person who's, who understands that the whole like ranking up in the like in the ship and whatnot is BS. She's like, I'm here for the experience. I don't care about the rank, and yeah. So like it's so fucking funny. I cannot even if you binge all of it and just like get rid of the subscription afterwards, please watch Lower Decks, y'all. I'm telling you, it is one of the funniest things I've seen in a while, and it brought like a genuine like smile. Like I had one of those moments where like you laugh so hard you're crying watching the show.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It is the highlight of my week.
Yeah, definitely.
It was literally the highlight of my week.
Even watching in passing is funny as crap.
Yeah, I mean it's just so funny. Like at first, I was having it playing in the background while like getting some work done and whatnot. I was like, it's Star Trek. I watch all things Star Trek, even if it is shit, and some of it has been shit. But the movies. But yeah, it was Lower Decks has been the number one thing I've consumed. Outside of that, I have picked up a new anime called what is this damn thing called? Millionaire or Billionaire Detective.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a Millionaire Detective Balance Unlimited. Because there's been like a new trope of like detective animes up and out recently. One of the key ones being like ID, which was streaming on Hulu and Funimation. And that one was absolutely fantastic. And the premise for that one was basically that we've evolved to a point where we're able to kind of dive into criminals' memories, essentially. And basically, like, it's this concept of that, criminals before they do a crime or even after they do a crime, they leave like psychic residue behind. And so this agency essentially dives into that residue. If it's a fingerprint, basically it's like a memory imprint. And so they're able to catch the criminal and such through that residue. But yeah, that's just one of the other ones I've been watching lately. The Millionaire Detective is a pretty cool one. Basically it's just this out of nowhere detective. Basically this guy's a billionaire, think Elon Musk, Gates, all that fun stuff. They're bored and they want to solve crimes now because what else is there fucking to do when you have all the money in the world? You solve murders, and so he basically just uses money to solve murders like that. And so that's been pretty good. And of course, I've just been reading a bunch of fucking manga. Solo Leveling is great. Not sure if any of you guys actually picked it up yet, but Solo Leveling's new season has been fantastic so far.
So did you guys ever figure out a place where I could read that? That's not tapped.
I dropped one place in the link, in our comics link, I think it was, and that's where I've been reading it at lately.
I'll check that out. Because I
also
saw
picked up this. Yeah, art's fantastic. Also picked up this dope comic book, Prodigy. I've read it bits and pieces when it was originally releasing, but my wife got me the full novel of it. And Prodigy is just absolutely fucking fantastic. It's the type of comic book that I look forward to my kids reading because like growing up we didn't have a lot of black MCs, and so Prodigy is that. It's a black MC being successful, being just a kick-ass all around superhero. Not even like superhero.
Not Prodigy
it's like
from
just
Mobb Deep.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like Luther, actually.
Say again.
It looks like Luther a little bit,
right?
Like
And it does kind of have that Luther-esque feels. No, it's fantastic. Outside of that, Lucifer dropped season 5, part 1. Binged that with my wife, and like literally the first day.
Yep.
We stayed up all night watching that one. It was good. Love the Lucifer comic book series. If you never read that before,
and he's from what, Sandman, right? Because I never read Sandman, but I think that's
yeah.
Is he from Sandman?
Yeah,
He starts in Sandman, and then they give him his own offshoot after that.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought.
which I didn't know about till I watched DC Fandom actually. So,
Yep.
but yeah, we'll get to that later. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. On top of that, went back to the oldies. I watched the original Batman, Beyond, not Beyond, but Christian Bale,
Begins.
Batman series, Batman Begins. I watched all three of those, this week with my son and my daughter.
Which one is your favorite?
Batman Begins. I absolutely fucking love that cave scene. It is fantastic. I love the combat in Batman Begins. On top of that, one of my favorite Batman games was Batman Begins. The game when they used to release games with the movies. Y'all remember back in the day when like a movie would come out, they released a game with it. Like that was one of the most. It used to be shitty, but like that Batman Begins game fucking hit, and I don't care who says anything about it.
Which
It was
platform was
fucking
it on?
fantastic. It was PS. It was like PS2 or PS3 maybe at that
I
point.
don't know
Maybe it was 2. No, 3. I think it was 3. PS3.
It was around the same time they came with the Spider-Man game.
Yep. Enter the Matrix was heat.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that shit was like people. I didn't know people actually like I was reading something. It was like one of these sites like GameSpot or something. They gave it like a low score. I was like, that game was fun.
They sure did.
Matrix was
y'all
the
are
shit,
tripping.
bro.
That shit was dope. Like
can't do
where
the
you
critic
can
thing.
slow down shit.
Yeah, the critic thing, like that's a real thing, man. Like they play too many like they're like burned out.
and they're biased already. So if it's not a game like Carl and I were talking about Rotten Tomatoes, and I was talking about like the scores that black movies get on Rotten Tomatoes are always pretty low. And you're like, then you read the critics' names, and you're like, I know none of these people are black, right?
Right.
Like they don't. Some of them have picture
They don't
faces,
get
some of
it.
them don't. But so it's like, of course they're like, oh, it wasn't funny. I'm like, not to you. It's not your frame of reference.
To you.
Yeah,
right.
You're
exactly.
not gonna get that type of humor. But for
right, you didn't grow up with your grandma making you get your own stick and whatnot. So like, you didn't get that.
So for you, that entire joke misses, and so
it
you
falls
think,
off completely.
I say,
Chris, really,
what do you mean, get your own stick?
Exactly. They don't get the references. They don't get the history.
Yeah, where's that frequency? Their frequencies, they're like they don't realize there's sound going on that they just can't hear.
They don't hear. Agreed.
Basically.
It's like we watched Dolomite, Creston.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what you been watching, AJ?
I was like, this is hilarious.
For the most part, I've been watching. I just been catching up on Fire Force, and then
even though it has no plot.
No one said that.
That animation is fantastic, and when it comes to anime and manga, you can sell me on the art, even if the story is bad. And I am trying my best to get into the story. I don't care still, but I think like I just like a lot of the characters have cool powers. And so that's kind of what I'm leaning on. If the animation drops, I will drop it immediately, like I did Black Clover.
Talkers, we agree with you completely.
So yeah, I've been watching Fire Force, which like yes, no plot, but excellent animation. I like the fight scenes. The characters are cool. They all have like cool, unique abilities or whatever. So it's like a really entertaining watch.
What's your favorite ability you've seen so far?
What's his name? Benny, because he does everything.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
He's the one with the
Captain
X and the I-7 captain.
Oh,
the one who like blows up his own town to like.
His own town. Yeah, dude's explosive power is ridiculous.
That's my favorite character so far.
It's fair.
And it's kind of cheap because it's like, who's your favorite superhero? And like kids will pick Superman because he's got all the superpowers. It's kind of like that. Like he's a second generation and a third generation, pyrokinetic. So he's pretty much got everybody's abilities in some degree. So it is a little cheap, but he's got a cool personality too. So he's not like very like. He's just kind of like laid back kind of character, and then he's got like these cool moves that go along with it. And like I said,
where are you at in the anime?
I'm still in the first season because I bailed out.
Oh, okay.
I bailed out after they beat the fifth, the lady who ran the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
That right after that, I think there was like
Oh,
a
the
slow
pink-haired
episode
lady.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a slow episode
I'm
after
looking
that
at
to
what's
kind of like
her name.
recap, and I think I bailed out there for a while, so I had to come back to it. So I
Mm,
know
okay.
I know they're like partway through the second season, but I mean
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
watching that at such
And
a
second
quick.
season is they actually have a black character in their second season, and
Yeah,
he's
I saw
animated
that.
absolutely fantastic
I'm gonna
too.
be
Yeah,
100%
they do too.
honest. That's why I jumped back in so fast because I was
Yeah.
watching
You talking about this
something in my
before.
YouTube feed hit me and I was like, wait a minute, is that a black dude on a skateboard? I mean, on like a snowboard looking thing. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah.
He's
If
he's
you see his powers though, his ability is dope as shit. I was like, yo, this
it's
man.
dope
Right.
as shit.
So I saw just a little clip and I was like, all right, I'm back in. I need to at least get to the black dude and see what this is about. All right, they kill him, I might leave. I don't know. Like, I'm making no promises.
He said if he dies,
Animation
I'm
drops, black dude dies. Those are deal breakers for me for right now for Fire Force because the plot's not strong
gone.
enough.
Yep, that's fair.
And then I was watching. I'm keeping up with God of High School, which to me is probably my favorite thing on TV right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm
there's
waiting
no
to
plot
binge
in
it
that
all.
either, but it looks great. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no,
Yeah,
the
last-
plot is kind of weird. So,
they were in a weird place where like the original author wanted to change things versus the comic, and so it's
Mhm.
just the things where they explain it's the same as the same story. Oh, it's old, but things in the comic where they kind of explain over like at least 15 different like issues. They try and wrap up into one like
yeah,
one
I think I
episode.
heard that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
so like the wedding episode, for instance, that was at least 10 issues. They did that in like 10-15 minutes, I think it was in the anime. Yeah, and so they're speeding through it, and so like and it's kind of make a lot of like the big reveals in the future kind of more of a down than they should be, because like it's not there's not a lot of build up to it.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
So that is one thing I do worry about. But I mean, ultimately, like you said, animation is key. They're trying to focus on the fights, which is fair.
Mhm.
But yeah, that is
It
what I'm
doesn't
worried
seem
about.
like it's a really deep story though. Like it just seems like a fun story. So it's
But
very Dragon Ball Z-esque in the way that the main character he's even got the same haircut as Goku pretty much. So it's like
Same haircut.
and the original author's like his immediate reason for making that was Dragon Ball Z. He wanted to build a character. He wanted to build a storyline that had that Dragon Ball Z feel from his childhood. And so like that's what God of High School
he's
is. Like
doing
that's
exactly that. But
right.
obviously with
You have an overpowered
this
MC
generation
who
of
lives for
anime.
the fight. Yep. He lives for the fight. He eats constantly, like your normal shonen tropes.
He's goofy.
So I mean,
yeah, right.
he's
Like
goofy.
he
He has
a
that one
moron if
serious
he wasn't so
friend.
technically powerful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Word.
So I mean, but that's pretty much for me. It's just those two. Because other than that, I don't know what I've been doing with my time, but I've been wasting it somehow. I'll get back.
Right, where is it going?
Yep.
Nah, I feel
Wasting hours here and there.
What you been watching, Crescent? Or otherwise consuming?
Besides Terrifier.
You said besides what?
Terrifier.
Man, y'all need to watch that shit, man. Y'all can't be leaving me out in the lurch like that.
Absolutely not.
That shit, it's not even scary. It's just ridiculous. Just like
We
give
know
it
you
a
got a
chance.
twisted mind, so we know what's
People
type
who watch
Everybody
scary
watching that
movies
bullshit.
always say something isn't scary. But the thing is, when I make the mistake of trusting you one time, those images are in my head forever.
Nah,
So it's
that
like,
shit.
it's not a
That
mistake
shit
I
is
can make.
just. It's just funny. It's funny to me. It's just one scene I want you all to see. Like it's classic. But anyway, I finished watching that Netflix game
High school.
yeah, High Score. I finished watching that. That was really good. They did a good segment about what's that guy's name? Something Lawson. But the dude that actually invented the cartridge, they did it they had a whole section on
Oh,
that.
High Score. Yeah.
Yeah.
The black guy who finished the first.
Yeah, his last name
Yep.
is Lawson, but I forget his first
Yeah, I
name.
forget his first name
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I know you talking about.
So they did that good justice. And then just like hearing up the main thing that the documentary like focuses on is not necessarily the companies that are part of the gaming industry, but more so like the people. So it was more like people focused and hearing
Yeah,
how
the people who created the things we love. Yeah.
exactly. So I highly recommend it. And the soundtrack, or at least the intro song, is made by Power Glove, which is, if you like any type of like 80s like electronic type music, Power Glove is like the shit. So um so yeah, highly recommend that. I haven't really been watching too much. I started watching this other real estate show on Netflix with my
Oh
girlfriend.
Lord.
What's this shit called? It's like they're selling like $1 million homes in the Hamptons or some
Is
shit.
that the one that I was watching with y'all?
No, that's a different one. That's Selling Sunset.
Wasn't it just billionaire homes or something like that?
Yeah, like it just like it's.
Homes will never be able to afford. Actually, no, I don't want to say that. Like Blerdimension is going to make us all millions, so it's
Oh
okay.
yeah,
We'll
no,
buy it.
we're gonna have one of
We're
those
gonna buy
houses
like
pretty
this
soon.
big ass
Yeah,
gaming
we're gonna
house.
all
We're
be
gonna
doing
put a
this
bunch
for
of
mayhem
gamers.
within the
Oh,
next year.
Yeah.
So.
y'all want to build a whole like
Yeah, whole stadium.
not
Oh
just a
hell yeah,
stadium, but like
like a
like
community, a
facilities for
city,
like creativity,
Yep,
gaming,
a city.
recreation,
We
all
need our
that.
own city.
pretty much.
Own university,
There's a
basically.
lot of land out there in the Midwest that nobody's using.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Centuries into that.
Buy
exactly.
it up.
it's
I mean,
true.
it's
We
just
need to
Let's
out
buy
there.
it
central
up, man.
America.
We just need to make
Central
sure we get a solid some fiber optics out there. But
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Preston. His name was Jerry Lawson.
Jerry Lawson, there we go.
Very
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Sounds like
So dog, but like dog, imagine if we learned that shit during like Black History Month when we were younger. Dog, I would have been like
Be
that
more
would
game
have
developers. Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. He
inspires us
said
to
sounds
go
like a
towards the tech
cult.
field.
What a hater.
Yeah, it's a good cult. It's a good cult. Uh, that's what they all say in the
Yeah,
beginning.
but who said Colts are bad? That's just because
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
couple bad Colts out there making the good Colts look
They,
bad.
Good
well,
bad.
there you go.
Yeah,
There's
no
probably
It's
some
just
good
bullshit.
bad
Colts
press.
out
That's all it
there.
is.
That's
Yeah,
It's
exactly what
bad
it is.
press.
Bad press.
hell yeah.
They just need a PR guy or gal to kind of
Yeah,
spin that.
exactly.
So, but yeah, that's as far as like watching, but playing. I've been playing this jank on Nintendo Switch called to end up as sex slave.
Slave.
done again.
Oh man. Um,
Oh man.
I've been playing this game called Blasphemous. It's basically like if Dark Souls was a Metroidvania. So that's what Blasphemous
Which,
is.
interesting.
Okay, so switching it up a little bit. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's rare, it's super dark. I love it.
Are you talking about
But
hobo with the shotgun game?
what'd you say?
The hobo with the shotgun game?
That's Hunt Down.
Oh,
This other giant's called Blasphemous, but uh
that sounds like you
yeah,
talking.
no, that's just tight. It's hard because it goes by that whole like Dark Souls mantra where it's
Mm.
like if you die, you gotta go all the way back to their fucking like
Sheesh.
campfire type shit. So that shit gets annoying because it's like I get in certain parts where like it's like there's like instant death. So if you fall in like spikes or if you fall down like a bottomless pit, like you got to start all the way back from your checkpoint. So that's the shit that I like.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it gets. I can only play that in chunks because that shit gets annoying after a while.
Play them
But I
games.
love the combat in there. I love how you can like execute people. It's super dark, but I love it. And yeah, and then the other game was Hunt Down. Played on the stream yesterday for DC Gaming Group. Make sure
Actually,
y'all follow DC Gaming Group.
yeah,
Hey.
Um,
Yep.
but yeah, nah, the shit was fun. It's like dumb fun. It's like uh references a lot of like the 80s and 90s like action movie tropes and shit. So it's like super ridiculous. Remember that boss, JK, remember that boss yesterday I was fighting and he was just screaming the whole time.
so in the middle of me playing, uh, I think I was playing Samurai Jack or Apex or something. I was watching his stream. All he was, "Ah!"
The dude had his name was like Shell Shock Murdoch. And so
Mm.
this dude was he was
He was the one
he
sweating.
was running around just like with a big ass machine gun, just like, oh, the horror, the horror. Ah!
Yeah.
Nah, this shit is hilarious,
That's
dog.
terrible.
But
Not
but
laughing at
yeah,
people who have shell shock warfare. I'm
what'd you
just
say?
Not laughing about people who had shell shock during the war.
Oh
or whatever.
nah.
The game was funny.
Just the game, yeah. It's the portrayal of it.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's just been a real chill week. Today was a fucking marathon. I had 3 hours straight of meetings this morning.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Nah.
Oh, bless your heart.
Dog.
Bless your heart.
Oh my
No, we had
God. I
a
was like,
malware outbreak this week. Some fucking like 3 different idiots clicked on these phishing links and downloaded these
yikes.
PDFs that were
Oh,
fucking
Jesus.
riddled with malware.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
And
man.
so
Yes.
and so it's just been a fucking catastrophe. And then a network admin uses his admin credentials to log into like you can log into a machine as admin and then you
Yeah.
can browse the internet to download what you need, right?
Didn't.
This fucking idiot is on Facebook and whatnot on his admin account. So like it's been a week.
Yikes.
yeah, I'm
Big
glad
It's
it's
been a-
Thursday.
Cybersecurity.
Glad it's Thursday.
Hey, yeah, the
Goddamn.
week is almost over.
fucking
The
week.
week is
Can
almost
I-
over.
Can I ask
The
this?
week is over.
Can I ask this
The week is-
Curate? How
Yeah.
many certs does he have?
Say again.
How many certs does he have?
Oh, he has fucking tons.
Oh,
He's just a fucking idiot.
oh, interesting.
Paper
I'm
tagging,
sorry.
man.
Not to offend any network guys out there. Not to offend. But you guys are all fucking idiots. Like it's just
Not to offend, but
Sorry.
fuck you. Like, no disrespect though.
You make my fucking life as a cybersecurity admin and an engineer a fucking nightmare. Not only do you ask the stupidest fucking question, no, honestly, all auditors, all network auditors, you can burn pits of hell. Like I just can't fucking stand you people.
This man is having a moment. Maybe we should. I'm gonna give you a second.
Everybody
can-
back up. Can we
Yeah,
turn the
we
light
can-
so everybody else
In
can
his
Yeah,
own
we
shell
go.
shock
Go get a drink of water.
Right.
Get a drink of water.
What
Hey,
you
you
been
It's been a
consuming
week.
this
I'm
week,
sorry.
Carl?
This is a whole other thing.
You gonna rage a little bit.
There, bro. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I finally got into Lovecraft Country.
Mm.
I'm happy to report I can watch it.
It's fantastic.
Okay? I
Yeah.
can watch it. It's tame
See, it's
enough
not that scary.
for me. It's
My
tame
boy.
enough
Mhm.
So, but I know it's gonna get hectic at some point. But I
Right.
know I'll be too far in it, so it'll be okay.
But at that
True
point,
Blood
you're gonna
mess
have
with
to
me like
continue.
that. Yeah,
Hold on, let me
True
ask you
Blood
this,
had a
Carl.
certain.
Does Stranger Things scare you?
There's some intense moments in Stranger Things. I'm gonna watch the
are.
heck out of it, but there's some intense moments that I'm like, you didn't have to go all the way there. Like I don't need to see the monster's face like that close,
Right.
you know. But yeah, I'm a fan of Stranger Things. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Yes, yes.
So I watched that. Continuing to watch Fire Force. It looks like they're about to get to an interesting point in Fire Force where we might see
Right.
something finally. Because the last 3 weeks have just been like, wow, not.
I wouldn't
Amazing.
say just like the animal part, like no spoilers, but the animal part, like that those episodes are pretty interesting. The fight with the giant worm, like the transitioning to the different country, like I like seeing the world building.
But
there,
that was
too.
the last one though. That's when it was indicating to me that it's okay. We're ramping up to something. We're gonna learn
Yeah.
something new here.
They just had that massive fight with the white clad. So like yeah, so like those two
They
in between
make
episodes.
it look good. They make it look good, but even though it looked great, they didn't make me care about it.
The fight.
That fight, I didn't care about it.
Man, AJ
Especially,
couldn't have
yeah.
especially since that
guys.
I don't want to call this female a name, so I won't. But
Yeah,
especially
no, that's
since you're
fair. She's
just all
awful.
so willing to go to the. My gosh, dude! I just
Yeah,
want to punch
no,
you in the face so hard. Just take
it would have
Like,
been more better if she escaped both of them and did her own thing.
exactly.
But she
That
she
would've
made a
sense to me.
definitive choice to go with them instead of going with it. Would like if she didn't care who she went with because she wanted to live on the danger side, she would have just done her own thing and then fought them both off.
Let's just agree that we stopped caring as soon as she made her decision.
I did. I will
That's
say that I
crazy.
stopped caring the moment she made the dumb decision.
I was like,
I was
Yeah.
she's
like,
on
this
this
is
side now. Let's just put her on this side.
yep.
I'm going back.
Exactly. We'll get the next few.
And I
Um,
need to see Show pretty freaking soon. He's too baller for we be this far into the season and not even like a little flip to see what he's up to. Like I need a
agreed.
scene from him
Yeah,
real freaking quick. That's
That
annoying.
fight with them two brothers, fantastic.
Oh, that
yeah.
was great.
Like
Yes.
Great
it
animation.
is still
Yes.
definitely one of my
That
favorite anime fights. I
Yeah,
mean, for sure, it is
you're
up
gonna be
there in my
looking
top
forward to that,
tens.
AJ. That is the crown jewel right there.
That
yeah.
is like
So,
AJ.
And
When you
that's
see
what?
that,
season 2
we'll
or
know
season
you have
1?
seen
That's
that.
at the end of
Season one.
season 1.
Season one.
Okay, yeah,
That's the end
they're
of
building
season one.
towards. Yeah, they're building towards Shinra and his brother fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
that is a
fire.
fantastic fight.
well,
And I
good.
will say, like, one of the things I love about Fire Force is the way they explain the science and the world inside of the anime. Because one of
Yeah,
the things animes I feel like they fall short on is they'll give us this massive world, but they don't actually dive
Talk
deep
about it.
into what the world's like
right.
laws are.
Hmm.
Like
Mhm.
you're telling me this guy can fly with fire, but how is that actually happening? And they'll go into the science and like
And
how it
they're
actually
using
works in
oxygen
that
in their
world.
blood. Yeah,
Word.
Yeah.
But that whole fight between him, the Joe and his brother, and also the
Mm,
fights between the other members of the Fire Force,
fan fucking
were
tastic.
awesome. Like the whole tunnel fight
Excuse me.
Mm,
was fire.
Yeah, it
Fire.
was really
Yeah.
good.
This is
It was really,
dope.
really good.
Yeah,
let
that
me get
whole
3 of
freaking
those fire
thing.
fists to control. Just 3 of them. That's my power. Give me those.
No, damn that. Give me the ability to control the bullets, the
Oh,
force of
that's true.
yeah.
bullets.
The
He's
four
a
That's
G.
kind
bullets.
of
There's a
He's a
lot of
sick
G.
cool
He's
powers
great.
on there.
But you know what? And that's a thing about it too that I like because this is what manga does better than Western comics, right? Is like take something mundane and then just keep extrapolating on it until it gets like to where it's like I didn't know that like you could have this many types of firepower, right? Usually, like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
in a Western comic, there's a fire person, and they do different things with fire, but it's usually never this creative. It's usually never this thought out.
Right.
It's really just like, oh, I throw fireballs. Oh, sometimes they can turn into giant fire monsters. Like that's about as creative
Right.
as they get. It's just like
As
I'm
they get.
projecting fire, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, it's just like everybody's got fire. So now, how can we make this guy's fire or this girl's fire better than the people
Better.
around them?
What
Instead
makes
of
Like the one dude who makes ice. Like the
yeah,
way they explain how
Bro,
he
right,
how
right,
he
right,
yeah,
right,
uses
that was
fire
the
to
more
make
interesting one.
ice.
That
right,
was
right,
the more
right.
That's
interesting. How you can
ridiculous.
use fire and reverse the
Yep.
physics and the science of it to fit a different like you have a guy with ice missiles
Yep.
um, like
Yeah,
fire
That's wild,
missiles
man.
like explosions like walking and making explosions
Yep.
reversing
Because the
fire.
guy who literally takes kinetic energy and then explodes that energy outwards, like it's I mean,
Yeah,
brilliant.
That's
Yeah, it's amazing.
his power is pretty amazing. So
yeah.
I caught up on God of War. Oh, God of
Mm-hmm.
War.
Got a high
Wow.
school.
Wow.
High school.
Wow. I don't buy PlayStation. But God of War.
Oh,
I don't do that.
Oh,
no
Wow.
hey,
PlayStation
There's
over
no All
here.
Stars. You already know. There's no All Stars.
Here
he
you
had to
go with
edit.
the All Stars.
So
All right, so you caught up on Got a High School.
He said no.
Yeah, so real quick for that, like I I know that they're on like an accelerated schedule,
Mm-hmm.
but they still haven't convinced me why I should care about this tournament. Why is it special?
Mm.
Why do they
Yep.
have why do so many of them have powers and some of them don't?
I think
Don't.
the
Mm-hmm.
building
And then you don't know like so for that to make sense, most people don't know about powers because the main character didn't even know before. So what's going
Right.
on with that? That kind of reminds me of like Hunter x Hunter type of thing,
yeah
like
It does give those
yeah
feels too.
yes.
but like so I want to at least the tournament and I need to understand why I should care about this tournament. Like the Hunter thing in Hunter x Hunter, you get it. Like he wants to meet his father. It's prestigious. You get all these benefits, and the whole society kind of knows the great benefits. Like you don't have that here, so they need to fix that. But I caught up on that. Uh, I caught all the way up on Black Clover. Uh, Still kind of lame, but the last episode wasn't that bad. Um, they, they're just killing time to that Spade Kingdom altercation, and then I
Happens,
think
yeah.
we'll be good. Next episode, we're supposed to see some Yuno, so I'm hoping for Yuno to save the day a little bit and make it exciting. Um, and I started a new thing last night. I went to bed at nearly 5 because I was like, oh, let me just watch a little something. You know, I'm not gonna
Right.
stay, you know.
Famous last words.
Little bit.
It was at least 4:30. What do you do? So
One more episode, just one more.
Right.
exactly, the Rising of the Shield Hero. I don't know.
Oh, bro.
Finally,
Do you
yes.
guys know about that? I didn't even know
Boy,
Yeah.
you
about
in for a
this.
Oh,
treat. No, I
Carl.
watched it. I
Oh
watched the
man,
simulcast.
my
You
bro. My
behind,
bad,
boy.
bro. We've been sleeping on. We didn't inform you, so that's on us.
Oh, my
Yes,
bad.
get it to
I
freaking
didn't know
get it.
you
You
did.
guys knew
Oh,
about
shit.
that, right?
I've never heard of this
That's
either.
on us. We did
Dude,
tell you.
Shield
I'm not
Hero is
gonna tell you.
amazing. It's gonna piss you
Fan
off,
fucking
but
tastic.
it's also really good.
Yep.
And
Well,
it's
it's
dub
Manga
on
is.
Crunchyroll. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? That's extra juicy.
Yep.
I don't have time to be reading like that. So I
Exactly. That's how
love
you
that.
know if an anime is good on Crunchyroll if they even take the time to dub it. Like
Mm.
some animes you'll notice on Crunchyroll they won't get a dub, but if it's really fucking good and like there's a really good fan base behind it, they'll always get a fucking dub every single time.
yep.
Mm. And a new Shield Hero is supposed to be coming like next year, right?
We won't
A
get
new
that till
season.
next year. Yeah,
Uh,
it was supposed to be this year, but then COVID fucked up everything, and so
everything. So we gotta
yeah.
The
wait now.
best
I
There's
part,
can wait.
man,
something else coming
I
back
can
there,
this
wait.
year that's pushed back too.
I
But
can
anyway,
wait.
there's an abundance of freaking episodes for me to watch right now, and that is
hmm
Yep.
just the fantastic
Right.
part.
Yeah.
So
Shield Hero is
it's
fantastic. You have
boy.
20 episodes of just
I,
fantasticness.
I
It's
didn't I
fantastic.
didn't freaking know, and you guys knew about it. Kept it to yourself. I mean,
Kept it
I'm
to
just
sorry,
step
himself.
man.
away.
I
The reason
apologize.
But
why I love
I didn't
Shield
mean it.
Hero is because your MC gets shit on so hard. Like
Yeah.
other outside of other animes, your MC gets
are they gonna
completely shit
explain
on.
that? Because
Yes. The
it's
first episode.
completely inexplicable why it's so intense against the dude.
Right?
Like
They'll explain
it's
it.
Right.
next level.
But
Yeah, you'll
it's
get it.
literally like your MC. You would think he's the villain of the anime.
Yeah, they make
Like,
him eat a lot of
and
shit.
they
Yeah.
make him eat so much shit, and then like of course as it goes about, he gets his recognition for his hard work, and like because like and Rise like a brief overview for those who haven't seen it. It's you're basically your normal isekai. You know, you're in a freaking library. Next thing you know, you open a book and you're in like a fairy world and whatnot, and you're brought in as one of the four heroes. So the other three heroes, surprise, surprise, are fucking douchebags. But they get all of the love of the
hmm
people. And then you being the fourth hero, the shield hero, which is your defense hero, it's basically shit
Oh,
on.
okay. So
Um,
because anime names are weird, so it's like Shield Hero. What could this be? Okay, so it's literally like you're the defense, like in
he,
an
he
RPG, you're the
he
defense
is
person.
yeah, he
hmm
is the
Okay,
tank person.
Offensive
okay.
weapon. All he can use is a shield. Anytime he
Yeah,
tries to
he
pick up a
yep
weapon, it
disappears. Yeah,
disappears.
By the way, am I reading into this? Is that supposed to be like the full armor of God? Maybe not. Like there's the sword, uh
the shield,
the
the
shield is
spear.
kind of like the breastplate,
I'll let
like
you.
biblically type stuff.
I want you to go.
Maybe I'm reading into that. I don't know.
I want you to go further on, and it will actually that whole part will be explained more.
Yeah,
So, what episode are you on?
if he
Right.
watched till 5,
So
he's
I'm
probably at least till 10.
I I might be on 11.
Yeah,
Got a couple
11, 10,
episodes
something
in
like that.
before we got on the chat, right?
Decimation.
Yeah.
So, what was
So,
the last?
but I
What was,
started late. I started like around like 1 a.m.
oh wow,
Right? I started like at 1 a.m. last night. I'm like, it's a little late, but I'm not gonna stay up too late.
Right.
Right.
7 a.m.
Um,
later.
My kids are about to fucking wake up,
Boy.
man.
So you watch anything else?
um, I think I think that's it. So thankfully, I found this show because Black Clover and Fire Force is not where I want it to be right now. It'll get
Yeah,
there.
they're not.
I have
Yeah.
faith. So I got this. Thank goodness. I got Lovecraft. I'll be and of course, um, got out of high school. I
Watch,
need
Yeah.
that
Nice.
tournament to be explained.
Nice.
I need that.
watch,
But
Yeah,
that's
Shield Hero is
Said
one
I
of those
need that
animes where you
explanation.
feel so bad for people. Like you feel so bad for the MC just because he's working so damn hard, and the MC just becomes
like I was
because he's
so
working
hurt.
so hard, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, like,
Hurt my feelings. Like, damn.
yeah,
for
it
real.
really did.
You do
Upset.
feel that. Like it's
Yeah.
and that's what makes it so different from the other like freaking main things. Like it's your main character who instead of being treated as the hero that he is, he's being treated as a villain, and not just in one place. It's everywhere he goes. The rumors have spread that he is like
Yeah,
a
terrible.
misogynistic pig, a terrible person,
Yep.
a murderer, and things
Yep.
like that.
It's all
And in
that.
reality, he's just trying to live his life because
Exactly. So,
He
like
sound black.
ReZero is kind of like that. I mean, in
Sound
so,
black.
He sound black. Tell you the truth.
doesn't I mean
Oh,
doesn't it?
shit.
Sound
Doesn't
like
he?
he a black man going through the world.
Right.
I mean,
You living in
I-
Wisconsin right now. I don't know.
Oh no.
He a shield hero, shielding people and junk.
I
So
didn't
yeah.
say, wait,
So,
I didn't say that.
for me, like I was saying, ReZero is kind of like that. It's isekai, suddenly in another world, and I mean, it's not even the people of the world, cause like he gets, I guess like regular treatment. I mean, he's a stranger, so it's not like people are embracing him or whatever, but they not shitting on him. But like the writers, nigga,
They give
they be
him no
putting
love
that man through it.
to work. I mean, they be putting
They
him
through the
through it.
ringer, boy. I feel
So
The
bad for
depth this man has to
And our
experience.
writers, they tell you to beat your characters up, but like these guys sound like they're going overboard, like it's egregious.
man.
It's
This is
abuse.